name's Vina and this is Gabi. Discrimination has always been a worldwide issue that has impacted lives then and now.
Discrimination has never had a permanent solution to it, but as further generations come along, there's a higher opportunity to minimize discrimination. Discrimination was seen a lot during the time period of the Great Depression in America. Americans were losing jobs back and forth, but typically white men were held higher than people of color and women altogether. White men were always prioritized first compared to the people of color and women going back into the workplace. In today's society, issues like these are still happening when it comes to jobs, management, and really everything else in the workplace. Gender and race take huge impact from discrimination, and it can really change the way a person views things and the way they act. A large issue with discrimination is stereotypes. A person being stereotypical is having an image of somebody else in your brain that is typical or what's considered to be normal. For example, when you think of a woman working, you might not necessarily think that she's a police officer or she's a firefighter or she works in construction. Those are all typically made out to be jobs for a man, which is a lot to do with stereotypes, because women are stereotyped to work in a house and work with kids and stuff like that that aren't manly in society's eyes. Another example is the way you would view a white male's job compared to a colored male's job. When you think of a white male working, you might think that it's a business and like he's the boss and he's managing everything, when a colored man can easily do that as well. That doesn't have anything to do with your knowledge. But sometimes in society, it makes you think that colored people should be doing lower paid jobs and stuff that isn't knowledgeable. A colored man who would typically be seen working construction or cleaning or working in a farm, just typically jobs that typically white males would not be seen doing. As you can see, I am white. My skin color is white. I've never had a personal issue with discrimination, but I definitely know people who have been discriminated. As a woman, I could be held back from doing things that men could do. If I want to go be on a football team, it is typically frowned upon because I am a woman and I couldn't handle the violence. But it could be easily put together if society changed its views.
As time progressed over the years, discrimination has found new ways to incorporate itself in everybody's lives. For example, there are many different types of discrimination, such as gender, racial, and discrimination against the LGBTQ community. For example, Pride Month is this month, June, and people are still judging those who are part of the community even though it has been legalized in the United States. The Black Lives Matter movement has given voice to the experiences of Black individuals in the United States through its unyielding critique of white privilege and the complicity of white Americans in systems of oppression. Since the movement grew, more people have opened up to who they are and have embraced their true identities. But many people are still afraid if they do so, they could get harassed or even killed. For instance, a couple days ago on the news, I saw a lesbian couple being harassed just because they were gay. They were sitting on a bar and all of a sudden they found themselves in a life or death situation. Women have been told things like, "You're not a real woman," or "Go to hell." It's 2019 and it's sad to see people still afraid to go out to be themselves and take pride in who they are. On the other hand, there's also racial discrimination. Another major issue that has been getting more and more notice is police brutality towards Black people. Police officers have countlessly suspected people of color with crimes that they have not committed. These officers always assume that they are guilty of something and cross the line where doing their job turned into them acting impulsively. They start killing innocent people without thinking for 1 second that they're taking away a father or mother, or a son or a daughter, a beloved friend, or even a family member. Police officers think that just because they have weapons or the authority to use them whenever they please, that what they do to anyone is okay. A video went viral yesterday all over social media about a black man who was being gunned down for a false accusation of being a robber at a gas station.
As further generations come along, we can put an indent in the way that their society thinks. If we start changing and making improvements to the way the world is viewed, then we can possibly make an indent on discrimination and change its ways.
Wow.
Yeah!
For no... I couldn't freaking say my gender.
TED Talk Day 1.
Yes!
Yeah!
I was doing good. I don't even know that's a fucking word.
Why don't I say this part?
No. Discrimination. Fuck, what? Did I say Q? Q. It has increased through the century.